Situationships and the no holds bars rules for modern relationships. All right, so I want to start this video by going to the vault, which is the modern day human behavior vault that TikTok is. And I want you to listen to this young lady explain what a situationship is, okay?
What is a situationship and how do you know if you're in one? It's a romantic relationship that is undefined and uncommitted. It's a little different with friends with benefits because friends with benefits are people who don't emotionally open up or talk about their personal lives. They just do their thing and then they go back to their own lives. But in a situationship, they do a little bit more of the relationship stuff without the commitment and without the labels.
All right, so when I talk about how there's no rules or no holds barred and there are no rules, one of the rules that are being violated here is that she's not being honest. She's not being honest, but she's calling, what she's explaining here is a side chick, okay? This is a side chick, but it's a situationship just sounds better to the ears. You're lying to yourself, right? It's a sweet lie, right? Like, don't call it a side chick, call it a situationship, okay? Listen.
Coming at number one, it's not consistent. You'll spend time with them, you'll talk to them for a while, and then you don't hear from them. Number two, you feel confused because sometimes they'll open up to you about something and really do those coupley things. And then other times they're completely avoidant, shut down, and you're not hearing from them. Sometimes you feel like you're gonna get close to them, but then they pull back and confuse you all over again. You guys can open up, you can go on dates, you can talk about serious things, but then when it comes to what are we and what is happening, the labels seem to always mess it up, making it a situationship.
Okay, so we're gonna stop it there. This is not being honest, right? Because if you're honest with yourself, someone that's in a relationship with you, they're going to tell you up front what the truth is. They're going to be open, they're going to be honest, they're not going to be emotionally avoidant. Someone that cares about you is going to communicate with you. They're going to like labels. Why would you not label a relationship with someone that you have feelings for? But what we're seeing here is it's kind of, let me just call it something that sounds better to my ears so that it just doesn't hurt my feelings. And so you're basically being disingenuous, right? I know that I'm in a relationship that is not what I think a relationship is supposed to be, but I'm going to change the name of it so that I feel better about it, right? This dishonesty is kind of one of these quote unquote rules of modern dating now, where instead of just being honest and on the up and up, you just mislabel things and you kind of play with the terminology to kind of not call something what it actually is. This is a side chick. And if you're dealing with if you're a side chick, you're going to deal with people being not wanting to label it, because what woman wants to be told that she's a side chick? So you say situationship because it sounds easier on the ears, right? So I want to show you an example of this in action. And this is who celebrates a 1-year situationship? That is the crazy, you've been a side chick for a calendar year. The side chick. Listen, I'm not going to play the video. I just want you to look at the kind of text that she's getting, and she's considering this as some kind of relationship, okay? So these are texts she's getting from the guy, right? So that's the first one. Second one is she probably, what do you want? She might have asked, what do you want? And he probably directly told her this. And then anyways, this, and then so there's a little bit of like kind of sweet. So she's kind of talking to him kind of like a friend, right? Don't talk to me today. I got you, baby. So there's some of the sweet, and then you're loved. You're all good. Instead of saying, I love you directly. Good morning, you little, say it back. Good morning, cutie. So some of the sweet, some of the avoidant, and then he told her to be quiet. And then it's kind of talking to her like a girl. That I'm sure that's the time he's telling her to come over. And I guess they broke up. They fought that weekend. So she didn't go see him or whatever. And then this is like kind of like a truth pill here. Like this is like a red pill here. He's telling her basically, if I were all in on you and I treated you the way that you wanted to be treated or the way you say you want to be treated, you would get bored, right? And so he keeps going. Situationship is taking a step back. Then he says, love you, probably trying to, I don't know, kind of protect the situation. And then come do me now. Good girl, miss you too. No, he can bang still. Okay. I miss you, sweetheart. I'll leave you alone tonight. Goodbye. This is dumb. Okay. And so that's basically the kind of text that she's talking about in this situationship, right? Or this side chick situation, right? So now, if anyone that's been in a healthy relationship, right? I don't think you would not send messages like that. The guy, your guy's not going to send you messages like that. If you understand what a healthy relationship is, right? So what we're seeing is that the problem is not the relationship itself. It is the mislabeling of the relationship and calling this something other than what it actually is, which is he's an F-boy and you are his side chick. And if you look at it that way, then you can avoid the emotional ties that come with it. Now, I want you to look at this last video because this is kind of the way these women mourn these situationships by calling it something other than what it is, right? All right, so I'm going to pause it here. This is the first part. The guy says he's going to leave, and then she says, okay, I'll see you tomorrow night, or have fun, be safe. And then I guess this is the next morning. He didn't hear anything from her, and she calls and she can't get in contact with him, right? Okay. And then the next day, this is her going overboard, worried is sick at work. This is not the first time it's happened, so this is a usual pattern. Hey, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't respond. Okay. So this is her mourning this quote unquote relationship where occasionally this person just stops communicating with her, right? Okay. This again, get off work again. There's nothing, right? And then 3 weeks later, same thing. And then she gets the text and he tells her he hasn't seen her. I'll explain, send me some money. And so, of course, she happily, you watch this one. So this is like her happy moment. And then she sends money. And then, okay. Then after that, she calls and no answer. And then 1 month later, he says, I'm going to come get my stuff. So this is the TikTok where she's mourning this quote unquote relationship she had with this guy. But all things considered, she was never in a relationship with a guy. She was a side chick. But for whatever reason, we're allowing people to mislabel these relationships. If this were an actual relationship, he would easily say, you're my girlfriend. And he would, heck, you could go on social media, or you could go on social media and say, hey guys, I'm in a relationship. I'm going to kind of slow it down on the social media right now. I'm going to shut down some of these dating apps, whatever. And I'm just going to focus on me and my girlfriend because I have something special. People aren't doing that. People are keeping their options open, and people that are in situationships / side chick relationships are calling those things relationships. And so this is where this gets dangerous, okay? When you're not honest about what kind of situation you're in, you're lying to yourself about what that actually is. If I'm eating pizza every day and I keep telling myself that this pizza is a sandwich, right? This pizza is a sandwich, and I could say I'm going to eat a sandwich today when I'm eating a piece of pizza. And then I get to the point where I say, I don't understand why every time I eat a sandwich, I get pizza sauce on me. It's like, because you're calling it the wrong thing. You're mislabeling it. And just like that analogy, you're having people that are saying, in all of my relationships, I'm getting hurt. I keep getting hurt in my relationships. I keep getting hurt in my relationship. If you're in actual relationships, you're having communication, and that person is telling you, I want to back off, or I want to be more involved now, or I'm not dating anyone else, or we're going to label it this. And what's really happening is a lot of people are in situationships and they're calling them relationships. They're in side chick relationships and they're calling that a loving relationship. And so they're getting the wrong idea of what a relationship actually is. And so when you hear, women walk around saying guys are dogs, really what they're saying is, I'm tired of being a side chick, or I'm tired of situationships. Because if you're in a loving relationship, your guy's not sending you texts like, let me see if I can show you guys again. Guys aren't sending you texts like, let's see, STUF. Guys aren't sending you texts like breakup weekend. You don't do that in a relationship. You don't say that. You get bored with a nice guy. Guys don't. This situation is taking a step back. He even told her directly, this is not a relationship. This is a situationship. He told her that. And she still wants to walk around believing that this is something that is actually not, right? And so even in this TikTok, it's the same thing. And so why is this dangerous? It's because let's say that you're the good guy who is not the first choice, and you build yourself up and you study, you get your money together, you got everything right, and then you meet this girl, this young lady, and you say, I'm going to try and love the pain and the failed relationships out of her, which of course is ridiculous because you can't do that. But let's say that you're trying to do that and you do everything right and everything's going great for 2 or 3 months. And then all of a sudden she gets the text from this guy. She gets that text, and all of a sudden in the middle of the night, she's saying, oh, I'm going to go party with the girls. And then she gives them that sex that she's been missing for 3 months. And then she gets emotionally wrapped up again. And here you are trying to have an honest relationship with someone who basically does not operate in an honest relationship because they haven't really functioned in any. What they've done is functioned in a lot of side chick relationships and called those actual relationships. And guys have to be careful dealing with women who are in relationships like these side chick relationships and calling those relationships and thinking that that's what a healthy relationship is supposed to be. A healthy relationship is when I'm with the guy of my dreams and he gives me attention and we have great sex. But sometimes he calls me, sometimes he doesn't call me, and I go on this emotional roller coaster. That is not a healthy relationship. It's not. And so you can't come in behind that and try and clean that up as a decent guy by saying, you know what, I'm going to be the good guy in this relationship and I'm going to love her right. Because if you have 2 or 3 of these side chick relationships, you don't know what a healthy relationship is supposed to be. You think that the side chick relationship is a healthy relationship. And when you don't get those emotional ups and downs, you get bored and you go looking for something else. And so I want to end this video by just saying to guys, I want you guys to be careful, especially guys that don't have a lot of experiences in relationships. Because if you're dealing with some women who have not properly healed and they haven't learned. I was in toxic relationships because either A, they were toxic, or B, because I was mislabeling them. And I was actually in side chick relationships and I was calling them actual relationships. If they don't get that healing, you're going to try and be in a relationship with someone who's carrying a lot of baggage, a lot of damage, and you can't undo that. So I want you guys, when you get into a relationship and you're with someone that's saying all men are evil, or I haven't been with a good guy, or I haven't been in any healthy relationships, they might have been in relationships like this. So how do you mitigate this? You need to go somewhere where you can find people who are not in mislabeled relationships and then dating in healthy patterns so that they can have proper closure and they can move on to the next relationship. And from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like America is a great place to do that right now. So if you need to get your passport and go over somewhere where someone, when they're dating you, they will proudly proclaim that this is my boyfriend, and you could proudly proclaim that this is my girlfriend, and you could date like I don't know, like we used to date 20 years ago, I would suggest you do that, because you can't undo some of this situationship damage. And if you're going to try and deal with somebody that's carrying this kind of damage, you're gonna be in for a lot of hurt. So hey man, you might need to find someone that's avoided this kind of damage, and you could start building your foundation on solid ground, and you could have a healthy, loving relationship. And with that, guys, I want to say thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and please comment below, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.